Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reasons to make Morocco your next trip.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at a few of the most compelling arguments as to why this North African nation should be at the top of your bucket list. Number 10. History and culture. Long a crossroads and meeting point for different civilizations, Morocco's cultural identity is tough to pin down. It's a tapestry of various influences from throughout its storied history, but also entirely unique. There's nowhere else quite like it. Over the centuries, this land has played host to the Roman Empire, as well as Portuguese, French, and Spanish colonizers. All of the above left their mark, and their influences can be seen and felt alongside the dominant Arab and Berber cultures of today. Of course, Andalusian Muslims and a Jewish population have made their respective contributions as well, adding even more layers to the cultural mosaic that is Morocco. It can all seem a little overwhelming at first, but for those with time to spare, this is a destination that rewards curiosity and a willingness to really immerse yourself in local life. Number 9. The low cost of living. When a destination offers so much in the way of experiences, attractions, and shopping, more on that later, it's important to budget accordingly. It's no fun running out of funds halfway through your trip when you're just stumbling upon some new experiences that didn't come up in your research. Thankfully, Morocco is one of those destinations that can be done in a way to suit pretty much any budget. Yes, if you want to go all out and give yourself the royal treatment, there are businesses that will be only too happy to oblige. That being said, one can just as easily get by on under $50 per person and have a comfortable and enriching experience. Travelers can eat well for under $15 a day, while public transit averages only about $5 a day. In short, you should have plenty left over for excursions and activities. Number 8. Hiking and trekking. Morocco is a land of extremely diverse landscapes. From beachfront retreats and iconic desert views, you can switch between dramatically different environments in no time at all. Northern Morocco, however, is rugged mountainous terrain that makes it a must-visit for anybody with an adventurous side. The High Atlas, Middle Atlas, and Anti-Atlas mountains have long been a major draw for trekkers and hikers alike. They offer a solid mix of day hikes and longer treks spanning over 2 weeks. As you explore the mountains, you'll encounter small villages, awe-inspiring vistas, and wildlife. While perhaps overshadowed by the Atlas Mountains, the Rif Mountains are worth visiting in their own right, distinguishing themselves from the pack with dense forest and unique caves. It's worth noting that those in a rush can still get a taste of Moroccan mountain life by car. Number 7. Souks and shopping. It goes without saying that Morocco is a shopper's paradise, but for all the incredible souvenirs and gifts you can bring back, it's the experience of shopping in Morocco that's arguably most rewarding. Pretty much any significant population centre has at least one souk. These marketplaces are the beating heart of the city or town and makes for one of the best places to really get a crash course in Moroccan life. Souks are bustling, vibrant public spaces that, to the uninitiated, can be downright overwhelming at first, albeit in the best possible way. The sights, sounds, and smells make them a veritable feast for the senses. From spices and traditional clothing to lamps and tea sets, there's no shortage of unique purchases to bring home with you. If you plan on making purchases, however, you'll definitely want to sharpen your bargaining skills. Haggling is not just considered acceptable in Morocco, it's expected and an integral part of the exchange. Number 6. Beaches. With so much going on in terms of city life and culture, it's all too easy to forget that Morocco is a coastal country. The nation borders both the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean, providing ample opportunity for travellers to find their own little slice of paradise. The Mediterranean is rockier but boasts truly stunning views, while the country's Atlantic coast offers more conventional beach retreats. Those looking for a quintessential escape will definitely want to visit Agadir or Tangier. For something a little more off the radar, consider Asila, Aladia, and El Jebba, which tend to be more popular with locals and European visitors. If you're looking for golden sand and water sports, Essaouira is a popular surfing and windsurfing destination. That's because of the higher winds tends to get overlooked by the masses. Number 5. Chefchaouen. For this list, we're really trying to talk about the country as a whole, rather than getting into the specific destinations. That feels like a different list to help you plan your specific itinerary. Nonetheless, Chefchaouen is such a one-of-a-kind experience that we really felt it warranted its own entry today, because no visit to Morocco is complete without a visit to this picturesque town. Located in the aforementioned Rif Mountains, Chefchaouen has a strong Andalusian influence. It's a small town famous for its blue buildings, red-tiled roofs, and narrow winding streets. It's a photographer's delight. And while tourism has definitely descended upon the town, there remains a solid balance between tourist comforts and authenticity. Plus, it makes for a great home base for anyone looking to explore the surrounding area. Number 4. Cuisine. It's not exactly a secret that Morocco has great food. While the modern culinary scene in cities like Casablanca and Marrakesh are beginning to make waves, the draw for most foodies to Morocco is the country's plethora of unique traditional dishes and preparation styles. Morocco has been a centre of trade for herbs and colourful spices dating back centuries. The nation has perfected the art of stewed meats. It's honestly tough to walk through a Moroccan city around lunch or dinner time and not start salivating. The couscous, the tagines, the pastillas. There are few destinations more delightfully aromatic anywhere on earth. Inland, the dishes skew heavily in favour of local meat like lamb and chicken, but the coast is a seafood lover's delight. Food is a big part of culture and custom in Morocco, so take your time and soak it in. Of course, the mint tea is not to be missed. Number 3. Architecture. Remember earlier when we were talking about the diverse cultural influences? Well, that's perhaps best represented by the country's many architectural marvels. Morocco is blessed with an abundance of beautiful mosques, with the Hassan II Mosque, the Grand Mosque in Tangier, and the Mosque of Al Qarawiyyin in Fez being just a few standouts. Other highlights include El Bahia Palace in Marrakesh, the Mausoleum of Moulay Ismail in Meknes, and the historic fortified town of Ait Ben Haddou. While there are many historic attractions worth visiting, cities like Marrakesh, Casablanca, and Rabat feel like living museums. There are eye-catching structures seemingly on every corner that, while historic, simply continue to be used for everyday purposes. Such is the nature of a destination this historically rich. It's all about the details. Moroccan artisans have long incorporated arches and tile work to make even humble structures feel intricate. Number 2. The Sahara Desert. The idea of visiting the desert isn't for everyone. Well, we'd recommend booking an excursion into the famous Sahara Desert to change your mind. Whether on a four-wheeler or via camel, a tour of the Sahara Desert will give you a whole new appreciation for this harsh and otherworldly environment, as well as those who've historically carved a life out for themselves in the area. The landscape offers some truly unbelievable photo ops, while the small villages that dot the desert make for a fascinating look into local life and culture. To get the most out of your time in the Sahara, however, we highly recommend booking an overnight camping package. We highly doubt that you've ever seen so many stars. The Sahara Desert is an unforgettable trip and a wonderful dose of perspective. Number 1. Imperial cities. A stark contrast to the peace and quiet of the Sahara Desert, Morocco's imperial cities are bustling, vibrant spaces that really stimulate all the senses. Throughout the nation's history, Marrakesh, Fez, Rabat, and Meknes have all served as the Moroccan capital at some point or another. The heart of the action, however, is always the Medina. This is the historic area of the city that traditionally served as the epicenter of local life. They're walled and defined by narrow winding streets and are typically home to the biggest and most prominent attractions. This is Morocco as most commonly depicted in popular media. Marrakesh, Fez, Rabat, and Meknes each have their own distinct charms and quirks. The only way to fully understand everything they have to offer is to go see for yourself.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Mojo Travels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.